Hello, uh, Jim Howard here in Fort Worth, Texas. Today's date, it is May 17th of 2021. We have a thunderstorm that is going on outside. Yeah, let me check it. It's not going on inside, it's going on outside. Uh, Back a while back when, and I'm thinking it's 2 or 3 months ago, when HBO came up with HBO Max, uh, we were and are signed up through Amazon, I believe, with HBO. And we were, we were and are paying $14 a month. So there was an announcement about HBO Max coming and that it was here and that there'd be no, problem. You can just, it'll, when you log in, it'll, or whatever. Anyway, there were other post things. So HBO Max has a ton of more stuff. I just got it, I think, installed for yesterday. I tried when the whole thing first started. HBO is $14. HBO Max is $14. So you want HBO Max, of course. Anyway, I can't remember the exact details. I'm not going to search for it, but in several videos, I may have deleted one or two of those. I rarely delete a video, but because I think I remember posting something about, HBO Max coming and HBO here and, HBO Max. And in it, I said that I wasn't able to, I wasn't able to get HBO Max. And, I showed some screens and stuff of, well, I couldn't get into HBO Max, but, what I could show. And I very rarely get, thumbs down or I very rarely get even a comment that says you suck or something like that. I remember getting a few, and that may be one of the videos. Not because of that, I don't have a problem with criticism, but just that if the people, you know, say you suck on a YouTube video, and unless it's political or something like that, then you probably messed up. So um, finally, I think it was yesterday or maybe the day before, I saw, no, I got a email, one of these things that go out. Some of them you have a hell of a time ever getting, get them. You can create a rule that just automatically sends them to the trash container or something. But I got a thing that showed, I wonder where it is. It doesn't matter. Uh, in the middle of their message, talking about how great HBO Max was. It showed up, a box with, I don't know, images, and this is HBO, and it listed what you got, and it wasn't much. Of course, we've been paying, paying $14 a month for it. Then next to it was, this is HBO Max, and it listed a whole bunch of things underneath it. I'm like, what the crap? So what I had to do was, I tried several things. Finally, I got the HBO Max site. Tried logging into that. It wouldn't let me sign up because I'm signed up through Amazon with that email address, and I guess that email address was with them. I mean, it was with HBOMAX in their database or something that they. So I finally, I think what I did, if I remember correctly, is logged into or tried to log into HBO Max. I put in my email address, but then I put in my password from Amazon, and then it happened, and bang, I have HBO Max. And my ex-wife has a LG TV, a big screen, and I told her just go get the app, look for their app. In the Roku thing, there's a thing where you can go look for new apps or something like that. And I said, go drag that over. And she did. And then went to log into it. That was the HBO app. So then I, of course, told her to, well, no. She logged in with my, email address. And then it did one of those things where it pops up and says, on your PC, go there and enter this code when you go to such and such. So that's what we did, and boom, she immediately has all this stuff. And of course, I have it on my. I don't have a TV in this room. I have it on my computer, and it is really. They have a tremendous amount of stuff. This is what I thought that Paramount Plus, when they came along, I thought this is the kind of movies, and especially movies that they would have, but they haven't. We have Paramount Plus, and or Paramount, whatever it is called, because we had CBS Live or whatever that was, and my ex-wife likes that because she can watch her game shows, and the game shows that have been on CBS all the way back and stuff. So she likes, but so then we ended up. So anyway, I am impressed with. I'm not scrolling. Okay, I will scroll over here, but tons of movies that I thought, before on, why can't I get some of these movies, some of these movies. Here's Mr. Smith Goes to Washington. If politics was only like Mr. Smith Goes to Washington, or if congressmen were only like Mr. Smith. But let's see, by the way, I tried to watch Great Expectations, but I couldn't. I watched it for a little bit. I mean, I've watched it in the past, and I liked it when it was, By the way, this Tacoma FD Fire Department, I'm up to episode 8 on it, and I wasn't sure if it would be any good. What's the one from Comedy Central, the police one? This is, I thought, okay, well, I don't think they can, match up with that. What's it called? Anyway. And actually, Tacoma FD so far, I may get tired of it. Anyway, I tried to watch Barry Lyndon again. It was good, when I watched it in the past a couple of times. The West Wing I've watched repeatedly in the past, when it was on television, the reruns, and then I watched it on Amazon or whatever. And I'm up to episode 2 again. I'm not sure if I'm going to watch it. I know all their lines and everything else. Flipped is kind of a cute thing. I watched it before. I've watched part of it again. I'm just thinking, it's a boy and a girl growing up, same neighborhood right across the street from each other. From the time, I don't know, they were 7 or something like that, and the boy really doesn't seem interested in the girl, and the girl really seems interested in the boy. And first time I watched it, which, I mean, I probably watched that after that another time or something in the past. But I still feel the same way at being 80 years of age. I think I'd have been so happy to have a girl across the street, my age, that we went to school together or whatever. Of course, when I went to high school, I made a mistake of going to a Catholic all-male high school that was ROTC all the time. No girls, and then ROTC all the time. That was a mistake. But, yeah, there are tons of, I recommend HBO Max. By the way, I guess I can put a link, and I think I get $5. I'm not sure if you get anything or not. I guess I'll put a link below. I think all of these things have things like that. Usually there's a discount for the person signing up. I'll check and see. If you notice any difference in sound or something, my computer runs 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, and it usually doesn't, I don't have to reboot it or anything unless it's doing an update of, new software from Amazon, or maybe I purchased something and it needs to install a driver or whatever. So things have been fine. I'm using the Sound Blaster card, and let me give you a little variety here. I'm using the Sound Blaster card, but when it reboots sometimes, I need to reboot it several times to get it to take, and it's so depressing when I reboot it, and it's got, like, I guess it's not an X, some design on top, that's supposed to be solid color, but I reboot it and it's flashing. I tried stuff. Had to do a reboot because of an upgrade. There was an upgrade yesterday, and then a small upgrade today from Windows. So I messed with things. So I unplugged the Blue Yeti, which, yeah, okay, there we are. I unplugged that. And I plugged back in my Elgato Wave 3, and so rebooted a couple times, I think, and the Sound Blaster card is apparently working. One thing I need to do, because several of you have mentioned, Jim, you don't have to say, Jim Howard in Fort Worth, Texas. What I need to do is just create a little, I've done it in the past, I don't even know where they are. I've done everything in the past. But what I need to, create it, maybe I'll do that today. Need to create, then I just use that clip at the beginning of every, 15 seconds or something, or 30 seconds, and attach it at the beginning. Um, in a video, by the way, I'm using the I am using, let's see, where do I want to go? Want to go to Amazon, that's it. Go to orders. Okay, this is the keyboard that I'm using now since about May 2nd. And it has a USB pass-through, on it. So in one of the videos that I made after I got this, it wasn't right away, but I was sitting here doing something and I plugged in something to the USB pass-through and it didn't work. And I said in the video, wow, that's strange. The USB pass-through doesn't work. I wouldn't expect that that would be a problem. I think yesterday or the day before, I was around on the other side of my computer setup here, and I saw a USB hanging down. I thought, what the heck's that? Yeah, you know what happened. I hadn't plugged in. I plugged in the cable coming out of here, the USB but I hadn't plugged in the other cable. I just plugged in the keyboard, but there was another cable there that for plugging into USB in order for this to work. So now that works. I just wanted to say that in case there's somebody that maybe you watched that video and maybe you were thinking of getting this keyboard and then maybe you heard me say, oh, the pass-through doesn't work. It works, unless you're an idiot like me and, don't plug it in. Because one of my keyboards that I have, it has, one USB cable that plugs in, and that's it, just one USB cable for the keyboard. But on it, you have, on the keyboard, you have two USB ports that are by the way, 3.0, if you plug the, so that's going to be my excuse. What else? Like I said, we have a storm here. Flood watch, but we always get a flood watch. Not as bad as when I was in Miami for 5 years. If it sprinkles there, flood watch. No place for the water to go. Let's go back here, see if... Here, let's see which... Okay. Let's see. It's a line of right, through going down. Looks like this is going to pass by us here in a little bit. My radar, what's it look like? Well, my radar, it doesn't look too bad. In fact, there's no red. Let's see if there's some red. Anyway. Okay, that's the only two weather apps that I have. Well, unless there's one in that I haven't noticed in my list of. Let's see. All of the, that's just one. That's just one page, or one, Believe me, there's a bunch. Wow. So there may very easily be a weather. Occasionally, I will think, well, why, where's such and such? Like the scan, to scan a barcode or something. And, oh, I forgot to bring that over, so I'll bring it over. So there's a lot of stuff like that that happens. I remembered I didn't turn the fish tank off. What I did is just opened, I have a little gang valve on the back of it, and I opened one so the air is going out there the easiest way, so that there's none of the bubbling thing, So I have to remember when I get done here to turn that on. Okay, back to HBO Max. I'm going to go full screen here, although a little bit will be covered up. Goodfellas is a great movie. I never watched, Friends. I mean, I might have one time over the years had a TV set and it was turned. I never watched a full episode of it. Maybe that's something that, since I liked The Big Bang Theory and Steinfeld, maybe that would be something I could watch. Rush Hour, well, I don't know about Rush Hour 2. I probably watched it too. That was good. Jackie Shang, or whatever his name is, does a great job. I really like Young Sheldon, the TV show, but I got a feeling maybe they're having trouble because they've been doing the things that the TV shows on television have had in the past, all of them. The Brady Bunch and Beverly Hillbillies and Married with Children, whatever. When a TV show, when it's got problems, they may bring in a new character, or they start doing, like, Roseanne. What was her show called? Roseanne. Was it called Roseanne? Yeah, she had a good comedy skit, and she made it into a great, TV series. But then she started dabbling in, what to do, and that messed it up big time, spoiled it. But what they do is you can just see it coming. In fact, I think there's a name for it in the TV business or something or other. If I'm probably wrong. I think that they named it after, it was either I can't remember. They brought in a kid because viewing had gone down. Part of it might have been the kids that were on had grown up so much that people didn't want to see a. But Young Sheldon, I just loved. I love all of the characters in it, and the relationship, and the relationship between Sheldon and his sister, a twin sister, not an identical twin. I would hope not, but I love all that. But they've been doing fantasy, thing where the time changes or something, and that, to me, that's just an indication. Okay, either the writers don't know what to write anymore, or but I'd like to keep watching it. But like The Big Bang Theory, I watched I don't know how many episodes how many seasons they did, but I got tired of it. I didn't watch, I didn't watch anymore. So I could go back and there'd be some episodes that, oh, Heaven's Gate, that must be a documentary, The Cult of Cults. Wonder if they're including the Republican Party in that. Republicans were always, their thing was being anti-communist and all of that type of stuff. And the Republican or the communists were good at using, well, they weren't good, front groups, things like that. And the Republicans that's exactly, they remind me of, communist, when Russia was the USSR and when Radio Moscow was broadcasting and when they, I bet you I'm 80 years old, I bet you, well, I don't remember it myself personally, but the Communist Party of the United States ran presidential candidates. They didn't get any votes, but they had a newspaper, the Daily, what was it? That also, I think the only people who subscribed to the communist newspaper was probably the FBI, and probably half of the people. I don't know this. Probably half of the members of the Communist Party of the United States of America were probably FBI agents or, people working for the FBI. I remember reading that Daily Worker, that was the name of it. The Communist Party International, I'm not sure if they only did it once, probably not, they probably did it more. They had to send, like somebody over, probably with a diplomatic, privileges and a diplomatic thing with a bag full of money so they could, because there weren't any subscribers or advertise. When I say any, I'm sure there was some, but their communist newspaper their paper couldn't even make it during the Depression here in the United States. The American people, did not flock. I'm sure a few more went over when they had the Depression, which was so bad. I'm sure there was few people looking around. And then during World War II, of course, the U.S. government wanted us to do, well, I was a baby, but wanted the people here to support the USSR and do all you can to send them, make those guns and tanks and all that kind of stuff, yeah, in the workplaces so we can send them to the USSR to help them, And then, so I'm sure a lot of Americans, I'm sure, not a lot, but Americans were, oh, okay, we're helping our comrades, to defeat the Axis. And then World War II ended, and those people here in the United States, if you were had been a member or a supporter of the USSR or the Communist Party, you were in trouble. If you had a job, you'd probably be fired. If you tried to get a federal job, even now, like I told you, I took the selective service test a long time ago for the post office, and I passed. And then when I went, and went down to sign up, I had to go through pages and pages, honestly, pages. Have you ever been a member of this organization? Page after page after page. Were you ever a member of the Abraham Lincoln Brigade? I'm thinking, well, I knew the history of the Abraham Lincoln Brigade, from reading about it. But now, I don't know, maybe we need something like that. I'm not sure. I'm not smart enough to maybe we need something if you're going to apply for a job as a police officer. Maybe it should be, are you a member of QAnon? Are you now, or have you ever been a member of the what's the group that is so popular with police officers and gun people? What's the name of that? But can you imagine the screaming? Oh man! And probably the court cases would rule. Probably would go to. Well, what not probably. Things always go to the courts. Was it the Oath Keepers? Probably, not probably. I'm sure that the Supreme Court would rule that no, that's a violation of people's, freedom of speech. But it's sad how many veterans and how many people who were actually in, or who are actually in, or maybe were in the military, stormed the Capitol when Trump told them to storm the Capitol, and broke in and went in there and rioted and were carrying Trump flags instead of United States flags, and I think some of them were carrying, flags from the Confederacy. Don't tell me, by the way, that's not the flag of the Confederacy. That's a battle flag, and I don't want to fucking hear it. Go someplace else. Man, there is a lot. I will put a link below. Let me do something. That's what I'm going to do. I'm going to pull this over here. Okay, doesn't want to pull over because it's back. I'm going to do this. Pull this over here. Then hit this. Now that I've done that, what I did, I could have just done this. Oh, okay, I'm going to go account. I'm looking at HBOMAX to see if there's a discount you can get by using billing information. Well, I see if you go to billing information. Of course, I think you probably already know. I see that it does say your HBOMAX subscription is billed through Prime Video channels. Okay. Devices. Parental controls. You can enter a PIN, so keep the kids from watching something on, I guess, HBOMAX. Maybe if I go to account, nope. Let's see, help. Let's see. Let's see. Sign up and sign in. Free trial. Let me see what that says. HBOMAX free trial. Sign up through an app. Let's see, save for 12 offer. What is that? The HBO Max Save for 12 offer was available between September 4th and September 25th. New and returning subscribers who signed up for this offer can stream HBO Max at the discounted rate of $11.99 a month for 12 months. After the 12-month discount period, you'll pay the current price, which is $14.99. You can't get this offer anymore. HBO account billing. I don't see it. Maybe that was maybe that was for some other service that I saw, Amazon or something like that. Let's go back. Well, let's do this first here. Okay, I think that's it. Now, I don't think I accomplished anything, except I guess I'll see how this Elgato Wave 3 sounds compared to the Blue Yeti X. Thank you very much for watching. Sounds like the thunder has stopped, and I don't hear any rain, except I could be wrong because I hear crickets 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, and I've been hearing that since I was in grade school. If you want to look for something to solve, and people have and are looking for it, if you can solve that problem, I forget, a large population of the world and a large population of the United States, people suffer from that constant noise in their ear. It varies with people, you know, but how would you like to hear it 24 hours a day, 7 days a week? Crickets or whatever the sound that it is in your brain that, you know, that you hear. If you could come up with a fix for that problem, Jonas Salt, you know, became a hero and much loved by especially parents, you know, for finding the vaccine for polio. But that's something. Go to school and learn what you need to learn, and I'll be long gone. I'm 80. And I've put up with hearing crickets all my life, so not going to help me. But anyway, thank you very much for watching.